Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 375. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
What a great intro that I've heard for the first time today.
Are you getting dated
It was fantastic. A little bit, but I feel like we didn't record we recorded the podcast not too long ago. Am I mistaken about that?
So for people who are just like, what the hell are these two knuckleheads going on about? So we recorded the intro the first time. The audio was bad. It didn't record. And then we recorded the intro a second time, and my internet went down. As most people know, my internet's been going down a lot. As if you've watched to the end of any episode as of lately, it's always, hey guys, really sorry, my internet's gone down, hence why the podcast got chopped late. Like, there's nothing I can do about it at this moment in time. There's literally nothing we can do to rectify the situation. Will the internet go down again during this podcast? More than likely. But are we just going at this point, Chris? The intro is done. I will piece together the rest of this podcast if I have to, but there will still be an episode that goes out, and the intro is now done, all right? You got it? This is the intro.
This is it, the final version, the final draft. It's not going to change it again.
It's not changing again. It's not changing again. If you don't know, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast where you can get over on all podcast services and, of course, youtube.com/My Xbox and Me. It's even got me doing the intro out of order. That's how annoying this has all been for me. So frustrating. If you want to support the show financially, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer. Big shout out to our Patreon producers, Aaron Guard and FNH Paul. Thank you, boys, for your continued support. Topic of the show this week, Crash. There isn't anything. I've got to be honest with you. There isn't a single news story worthy of being topic of the show, to be honest with you.
Of course there is one.
Okay.
It's the final news story.
Okay, sure. You wanna? All right, fine. You wanna do this, Crash? You wanna be a chucklehead? You wanna be this guy? No problem.
I wasn't being serious.
Okay.
I was not. You know, I wasn't being
the show this week, everybody. Ubisoft's Skull and Bones has been delayed, which will now be launching March 2023. Ubisoft put out a statement saying this, quote, "Our team is hard at work polishing and balancing the experience ahead of the worldwide launch. We're very eager for you all to get your hands on Skull and Bones and dive in headfirst to the dangerous and exciting world of building your own pirate empire. To give you the best possible experience, we've decided to take a little more time and make sure we can deliver exactly that." Crash.
Yeah.
What the hell? What's going on, dude? What's going on? Like, on a serious note, right?
I think they announced the release date. They were comfortable with the game. And then God of War showed gameplay and they were like, oh man, maybe we delayed a little bit.
I've still not seen that God of War gameplay.
It looks good. It looks like more God of War.
I haven't looked because I'm like, I'm buying this game. I'm buying.
So you don't need to be sold on it.
I'm playing this game. Like, you know, like there's no two ways about it. I'm getting it. So yeah. But back to Skull and Bones, dude.
It's
so, okay. Let me. So, full transparency, I had worked for Ubisoft for around 4 months, doing some streaming for them over on their Twitch channel. Had a fantastic time, fantastic people over there. I had always dreamed of working for Ubi. It was like one of the first companies that ever embraced me as a content creator, so to work there was like a dream come true. I've got to say, and this is not a spite at any of those people, by the way, in any way, shape, or form, Ubisoft are in trouble right now, surely. Like, something is happening. Something is happening right now when it comes to Ubisoft. Now, don't get me wrong. They have got some of the biggest franchises out there. You know, like some of the biggest. And they're working with some of the biggest IPs out there. Avatar. I know Avatar's a kind of a weird one because it is technically a big IP.
Yeah. Not in gaming, and I think that's something that doesn't always translate, but you're correct. It is a big IP.
It's a big IP. It's a big IP. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Ubisoft just right now can't catch a W. They just keep catching these L's like constantly. And I just don't know what is going on over there.
I think they kind of brought it on themselves in a big way because they did a really, really big focus on these free-to-play type games. And I think that focus is just showing not to pan out. The thing that was most successful for them, I think, as of late, has really been Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I think you can argue anything other than Assassin's Creed hasn't hit the same, even if it's been successful. Like Far Cry, obviously, still been successful, but I don't think it's hit the same as Far Cry has in the past.
I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Not remotely close to Assassin's Creed as well, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just, I think they're looking at everything and they're like, we're not necessarily being successful in everything. Let's sort of rearrange what we feel like is not working. And that's what's happening. I think Skull and Bones is just a case of like, we put too much money into this game to cancel it. So it has to come out at some point.
That's not, my thing is like, how has it been delayed again when they've just announced a release date?
I think this one's the case of just avoiding games that'll crash the sales.
That game ain't selling anyway.
I 100% agree, but I think from their point of view is like, we want to get the most sales we can before we start putting it into services like Game Pass and whatever else this will end up on. And I do think it'll end up on a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on both Game Pass and Sony service. I would have said Stadia as well, but you know, Stadia's
no longer can we take pop shots at Stadia. We all knew it was coming. We all knew it was going to happen. But look, here we are.
Until January. It's gone January. Until then, I'm taking all the pop shots.
It's done anyway. Like, we could just keep it's dead. It's dead. When you announce something, it's dead. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I just look at this announcement and I just go, what is going on over there? Like, their year has been very strange, to say the least, anyway. But yeah, it's just delays after. And don't get me wrong, I know we are very big proponents of the fact of delay your game until it's ready. Amongst a lot of people, we're like that. But there does come a time where, and the type of game as well, where you go, we're at that. We've been beyond that point, but we're at that point of diminishing returns right now with Skull and Bones, right? Like, this game's going to come out. They're going to probably pay a few influencers to play it on Twitch, so it seems like it does decent in terms of its numbers. And then, I don't know, man. I can't wait to play it, Crash, just to see what,
if it's good or not, like what's going on.
Like, what is Skull and Bones at this point?
Yeah, it's such a weird one because, like, looking at it, I don't know if their plan is like, we've talked about how Ubisoft's really good at helping games recover after the release. I don't know if that's even possible with this game at this point with all the delays. I think it has one shot. It releases and it's either finds a hardcore audience that's willing to sit with it for a long time and you build off that, or it releases and everybody's like, this is what we waited for. This is what the delays were for and all this stuff.
It's bad
because
this is coming out and getting 6s.
It's lucky.
Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I think also, like, if you look at pirate games, you have Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves just sort of like ruins this game so much because I think even for like that fun pirate aspect, even if this game comes out and is good, I feel like the fact that it's 4 people on a boat in Sea of Thieves, this game's already going to struggle in that regard. And then having this delay just doesn't help it a whole lot. I hope it's worth it. I hope when it does come out, like, it's successful and there are people who absolutely love this game. I just don't see a universe in which that is possible, unfortunately.
I just don't see it. I don't see what you're seeing, all right? I don't see what you're seeing. It's good luck. Good luck with this one.
Yeah.
Good luck with this one. I can't say I see the vision. I cannot say I see the vision. Let's jump into what's been in our box, Crash. I have been playing a little game called FIFA 23.
The right FIFA this time?
It's the new one, yes, and it's the next version and everything. I'm playing the right one. Dude, I suck at FIFA.
You know, you don't play FIFA as much as you used to.
I don't play FIFA. Do you know what the problem is, Crash? I've been a FIFA guy my entire life. My entire video game history going all the way back to the Sega Mega Drive, which was my first console. I've played football games FIFA came out. I think the first one was 96, I believe. I've been playing these games from that long, though, yeah? And I come and play these new games now, and I still pretend that I'm good at them. And I still think that I'm good at them. And I play against people that play every single day. And I'm like, wow, I'm bad. Not only that, it hurts my feelings a lot. When you used to be good at something, or not.
Yeah.
I think good is so hard to say nowadays. Good amongst my friendship group. I was decent. Decent. I could hold my own. Nah. Bro, I can't score. I feel like I'm you.
That's so offensive. Yo, why are you gonna throw me under the bus like that? What did I do? I'm just sitting here, bro. We're doing the podcast.
Yo, catch these strays, bro. Catch these strays. No, I do. I feel like
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I feel so bad. Like I'm playing the game. The game's very good. It feels okay. It feels more realistic. It feels like a football game. I've been playing a bunch of Ultimate Team because I had some FIFA points left over from last year's game that I transferred over. I haven't put any real money in. Well, I say I haven't. Money's been put in. Go on, hit me.
I got a question. So you can transfer over the FIFA points from game to game?
You're left over FIFA points from the last game.
So which you don't use?
Over. Yes.
Oh. Yeah. It doesn't mean much, but it means enough that you can transfer over those points if you have extra points.
It's the least they could do, Crash. It's the least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just shocked that that's the case because they could actually be like, get to carry them over. Yeah, well, no, absolutely.
I think ultimately ultimately for the Ultimate Team, you're still going to spend the currency. They still want to get you hooked, right? They want to get you hooked into that. I'll be honest with you. I think this is the first year in a FIFA game that I've had like disposable income where I could put $100 in and not feel any type of way about it. By the way, I got the game sent to me by EA. Thank you, EA, for providing me with a copy of the game. So there's also that added. I don't want to say benefits. I don't think that's the right word, but like added, like I didn't pay $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 for the game. So there's a part of me like, oh, I can put in that amount of money because that's what I would have paid anyway, which is a way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but it's the first year that I'm like, maybe I'll put money into Ultimate Team. Not only that, they've added some really good things to Ultimate Team called Moments, which Moments pretty much is teaching you how to play Ultimate Team. It from down to basic level of passing, crossing, shooting, defending, dribbling, formations. So have you ever played Madden Ultimate Team before? No? Okay, they do like this like training scenarios in that, which sort of teaches you how to play Madden. FIFA finally have it with Moments, so it's like it works off a star system and it has like its own store where you can get packs for the stars that you've earned or manager cards, and that's where like the Ted Lasso stuff is. So I've got to say, this is the best Ultimate Team that I've played for new players, and that hasn't been at my wallet the way other games are usually at my wallet. That being said, do I still feel appealed to put money in? Yes, but I want to give credit where credit is due when it comes to making the game more accessible for new players, for Ultimate Team specifically as well.
Yeah, to your defense as well, I've always advocated like in a free-to-play game, or because technically you didn't pay for the game.
I did.
Just sort of giving back for the game. Yeah, it's not free to play. I'm speaking specifically to you,
which I usually do. Whenever if I get a game that doesn't, if it's not a Far Cry and I don't get the DLC or something like that, usually I will still buy the DLC. Whether I get to it or not, that's another story.
Yeah.
But usually I will still reinvest because I want game companies to do well, and not only that, without them providing me the access that I get early and things like that, I wouldn't be able to do my job as well. So yeah, I'm all for paying it forward in a way, even if it is to these money hungry companies sometimes. Like sometimes but ultimately, FIFA feels good. I want to play the career mode. I want to get into career mode soon. I'm thinking about doing a series on my YouTube channel for it, like with Tottenham or a player career mode or something like that. But the game's very challenging, I have to say. I feel like I'm either destroying people 4-1 or I'm getting destroyed 4-1. There's no 1-alls, there's no 2-2s, there's no 2-1s. It's either straight out obliteration or on both sides. Either I'm getting destroyed or I'm doing the destroying. So yeah, it's interesting. What I have to include is I was playing it when it was not out for everybody. So I was playing amongst the hardcore of the hardcore of the hardcore players as well for a while. And now it's already out. It's out. It came out 2 days ago. We're recording this on the 2nd of the 10th, or the 10th of the 2nd for you Americans. Weirdos. Yeah, no, just called half the audience weirdos. That's what I do. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in Ultimate Team for, but I'm enjoying what I've played so far.
Okay. How do you think it holds up to? I ask you every time with a sports game.
Year's?
How do you feel? Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Crash. I didn't play enough of last year's. Even when I thought I was playing last year, as I was playing the wrong version. Remember?
Yeah.
So,
right.
So ultimately, I don't even want to comment on last year's because I know for a fact I didn't play much Ultimate Team. I didn't touch pro clubs, and I thought I was playing a career mode that I wasn't playing.
That's fair.
So I'm not gonna compare it to last year's. I'll be back on again next week, and we'll talk more about career mode and hopefully pro clubs, because you know how much I love pro clubs. I think a series of me, you, and Matt P playing pro clubs on the My Xbox and Me channel would be hilarious.
Pro clubs is when you do it online with people, right?
But you play as one player.
Yeah.
So you and Matt would play as one player each. I'd control the rest of the team. Or imagine it was like me, you, Matt, Haley. Like, just people that are part of the My Xbox and Me community. And like, let's say, I don't know, probably will never happen. But like Sarah Squid one day gets FIFA.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm playing, motherfuckers, I'm in. And we just get her on an episode of her, like, just talking smack the whole time. I just think it would be hilarious to watch us lot just get so annoyed at you lot.
It'd be mostly you.
Yes.
We're gonna be honest.
Of course. But I just think seeing you score a goal in Ultimate Team would be a moment. In pro clubs would be a moment.
Yeah, we'll see if that would ever happen.
Has no faith in himself at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
Jokes.
I'm good with me being horrible at FIFA. I acknowledge that is a very real fact.
I respect it. I do respect it. What else have we been playing? I played Grounded for about 10 seconds. The new content came out. The 1.0 is finally out. They've got the story mode in there. Myself, Crash, Matt P, and Paul Despawn joined us on a live stream that we were doing. Unfortunately, my internet took a poop, so I didn't get to play. How did you find it once I left?
It was fun. It was with how far we got into it. Like, there's clearly like more narrative built into the game right now, which I thought was cool. But I will say that I didn't feel like it was drastically different from Grounded when we played. I also want to say we played Grounded so long ago that like I don't know how much of it is like me misremembering how Grounded was versus how much it really was, what it was really like playing that game. But I enjoyed it. I could see myself playing through that game. I think that would be a game more so where I'm focused more so on continuing the story forward instead of just focusing on the survival aspect, which isn't a negative, which isn't necessarily a negative, right? It gives you a path forward and something to consistently do in that game. But it was fun. I really enjoyed the survival aspects, you know, killing certain bugs and building armor out of the bugs and weapons and stuff like that. I think that's very cool. I think it works as a co-op game, obviously. The base building, I think base building is like such a hit or miss in most of these type of games. And I don't want to say we didn't do too much of it, so I don't want to say it was bad. I just didn't feel like it was a very notable thing compared to what I've been playing that would be relative to this game would be Raft, where I feel like that is very it is a very rewarding system in Raft, but I think that's because you're always on your base in Raft. What?
Are you still playing Raft?
Yeah, I have to beat it. Well, me and the friends that I'm playing with want to beat that
I hate you
before we jump into ground. Why?
because I wanted to play that game for so long. I can't believe you're playing it.
We could have played it.
I know.
You never wanted to ask me to play Raft. Let's get that.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I've become one of those people that just doesn't. You know what I do? Like 99% of the time. You know, like how I say, "Oh, I haven't got enough time to play games." I have plenty of fucking time. I sit there and look at my computer and go, "What should I play?" And then I look at it and go, "I've got no one to play it with." Do I reach out to anybody and be like, "Yo, do you want to play a game?" Nope.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I do that sometimes too. People do that.
It's dumb.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry. Absolutely. How many games do you judge off of not having people to play with when you don't even like send out feelers? Like, do you want to play this game? Yeah, it happens.
Do you know what it is? You don't stream anymore. So I don't see you streaming to then convince you to play something else.
That is very honestly, like that's where a majority of the convincing happened. Yeah, it's like fine, I'll download it, but then we gotta play for sure. Or it's like where it's like you send me a message, I'm like, sure, I'll play, I'll download it, and then months go by without being brought back up. Like,
Chris, Hegley's out. Should we play it? This literally happened 2 days ago.
Oh yeah,
Hegley's out. Should we play a game? Yeah, okay. Oh crap! I've just restarted my PC. Like my entire PC, I've reset. Oh, I'll only be half an hour. I forget, Crash. By this point as well, by the way, I've ordered food.
Yeah.
So the food has come. I've ate that. That's taken me longer than half an hour on its own. Then I'm still installing everything back on the computer. By the time I was done with everything, it was like 10 o'clock. And I was like, Chris is probably still awake and stuff. Like, it's not 10 o'clock for you, but I'm knackered. I'm kind of bed. I've got in bed and watched Bob Burgers, bro. I was like, nah, I'm good, you know. I'm good. I'll hit him up soon. I
don't blame you.
It's not good though. It's not good. I swear, it's not good. So Grounded, you've enjoyed. What else have you been playing?
I played Moon Scars. I think that is the name. I want to give a huge shout out to Game Pass right now because Game Pass has absolutely been very, very dope. And they got some more games coming out as well. But Moon Scars is a 2D Souls-like game. There's a game that is on the top of my head that I can't recall what it is that it reminds me a lot of. It gives me some Mortal Shell vibes as well, which I talked about before last year. I can't recall when exactly that game came out. But it's fun.
This looks like, what's that game that was mainly on PlayStation? That you played? Oh, I can't think of it now.
There is something right off the top of my head, but I do enjoy it. I think it's really cool. I think if you like Souls-like games in 2D, I guess you can call it Metroidvania type of game. Yep. I don't know if I'd necessarily classify it as that. I would classify it. It definitely hits that. Yes, I would recommend trying this game if you have Game Pass. It's really good. It's on Xbox Game Pass for sure. I'm not sure about PC Game Pass. I would assume it is, but I don't know exactly. But yeah, I enjoy it. Definitely worth the time to check it out. I haven't spent too much time, so I don't want to get too much into like mechanics and stuff like that until I fully try it out. It is on PC. There you go.
It is on PC. Yeah. It is on PC.
Modern Warfare 2 beta.
Oh, you played it?
I played it.
Oh, actually, yes,
I sent out a tweet and you responded to my tweet.
I saw the tweet. I was about to say, I was trying to Crash's podcast. I'm trying to, make things happen. So, oh my God, Crash, you played? No, yeah, I saw your tweet. So you like it?
I like it. Yeah, I liked it a lot more than I thought I would have. Did you end up trying it?
No.
Why are you giving me that face?
No, I generally just didn't like. The way, by the time I installed it on my PlayStation to play it because it was on PlayStation for free and you had to download the beta. It was on everything. It was a bunch of everything.
By that day, it was on everything.
Oh.
You could have played on Xbox or PC. Yeah, I played on PC. I played on PC. I lowered the settings all the way. It was like I was playing Modern Warfare 2. The original.
Not the remake.
Yeah, not the remake.
So you like it?
But I like it. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It is as far as multiplayer, and I didn't get too much time with it. It's probably my favorite Call of Duty multiplayer wise in a very, very long time. I can't recall the last time I enjoyed a Call of Duty multiplayer the way I was enjoying this one.
So I watched a lot of it. It's like I watched Stallion play quite a lot, who's like a COD main. And from what I could tell, he's still absolutely an animal at the game. But it feels like they're trying to lower the skill gap between, your everyday casual player and a pro player, let's say. This pro to someone who thinks they're a pro. And that's sort of been like the conversation at the moment. Like the fewer slide canceling's obviously not a thing anymore. There's a new way to slide cancel and stuff, but it is a lot more hoops to jump through now. It's like dolphin dive, crouch, A jump. It's like Jesus crumbs. Like this is
A jump's always been a thing in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And removing slide, like the thing with slide canceling is Call of Duty was never a movement based game.
No.
So for me, I'm fine. I could see why some like top tier players would be like, oh, this is ass. I don't like this change, whatever. I think that is more in line with the Call of Duty change. I do know they removed red dots from the mini map if you're shooting.
And people are worried about that as well.
I'm with it. I think it's great because it focuses you to pay attention more to the game and stop like looking at the mini map as much. And I also think in a really roundabout way, it makes silencers more impactful when you can't tell as well where it's going. Like obviously the silencer would hide it from the mini map. But I feel like it just makes the game flow better the way it is. The gunsmith system is really cool. I saw what you meant about like upgrading, like you still unlock different guns, but the equipment you unlock for one gun can then be equipped on other guns and stuff like that.
So ultimately it's a case of like, let's say you're an SMG player, that's what you use. You love to have SMGs. You no longer have to level up every single SMG. Once you unlock the attachments for one gun, you get it for all of them, right?
No, so certain guns have their own unique attachments as far as I'm aware, unless I was...
I got you.
Yeah, you could unlock... if you upgrade, like, I don't know if the UMP is in this game, but let's say the UMP, if you upgrade the UMP all the way, you will get attachments for the UMP, and then if you want to try another submachine gun, attachments will be compatible with that one as long as there's like the equipment slot for it, whatever. You can equip them on that. But leveling up that gun will also unlock attachments for that gun as well. As far as I'm aware, they're different.
Okay.
And I could be reading into that system wrong. Yeah, absolutely.
As a beta, we're not a Call of Duty channel that reads every single piece of news on Call of Duty. Yeah,
exactly. There's some people that are very much more well informed on it. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed the changes. I know people still complaining about skill-based matchmaking in this, and it does feel, I do kind of agree with you that they are trying to bridge that gap a little bit, but I don't think that's a bad thing in a game that is as big as Call of Duty.
Dude, it can't be. It can't be a bad thing. I understand why people don't like it. They want to be able to good players want to win, and they want to be able to stomp on everybody. And ultimately, it can't be like that. Like
I will say there's also probably a good amount of people that are like, man, if they didn't have skill-based matchmaking and if the red dots showed up and if I could slide cancel, I would be stomping on these people. And it's like, would you really? Like, if they took away skill-based matchmaking, would you really be able to stomp on every match, or would it be a flip-flop where sometimes you do stomp on people? Whereas right now it's pretty consistent. So I do think there are some issues, like I saw some people talking about, like they should add a dedicated ranked mode. And I do think it's crazy that Call of Duty still doesn't have like a mainstay ranked mode where you're like trying to grind it out. I do think that is a little bit of a missed thing, but at the same time, does it fit Call of Duty as well? Is like another question, and does it fix issues? Because I saw some people say, oh, add a ranked mode and have skill-based matchmaking in that, and then you have a casual mode with no skill-based matchmaking. And if you do that, then all the people who are good but not good will play.
Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't fix anything. So there's definitely stuff that they can work towards. But as is, I'm not the Call of Duty guy, so I'm not really. It's not my place to add commentary. I enjoyed the beta. The beta was fun.
There you go. That's all that matters. So do you see yourself getting the full release when it comes out? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Anyway, because
it'll
be up there for Game of the Year, I'm sure. With
you know what's the difficult thing is going to be what platform I buy it on.
Well, it doesn't matter ultimately. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter, does it?
It does. Because my PC can't. I don't think I'd be able to play the campaign and do the campaign justice on my PC.
Yeah, but you can technically you can play mouse and keyboard on Xbox if you want it to bad enough.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I understand. Like,
yeah. I get what you're saying.
That's stupid, but ultimately, if you wanted to play it with mouse and keyboard bad enough, you can play it on PC.
That's very fair. That's just true. You're not wrong. I don't know if I'd ever do that, but you're not wrong.
No. People said it to me the other day. They're like, "Oh, get it on Xbox and just use mouse and keyboard." I'm like, "So let me get it straight. You want me to buy another mouse and keyboard then?" And then they're like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "You think I'm going behind my PC, unplugging that every single time? And then I'm a streamer as well. I switch scenes and then like, no.
That's too messy.
That's ridiculous.
No, I haven't done it for. I've been replaying Cyberpunk, and I haven't done it for Cyberpunk. I don't think I would do it for Call of Duty either.
Do you think you're at a point where you wish you had a Series X?
No. I don't think Series X changes this at all.
No, I know, but I just wanted to ask that question.
No. I'm satisfied with the Series S.
You're satisfied. You're a small one. I understand.
At some point, you feel like you're gonna get me with it, but you're not gonna get me with it.
Hey,
you know when you'll get me with it? When Gears of War gets announced and they're like, "Here's a Series X Gears of War console." That's when you can bring it up, and I'll be like, "Ah, you were right, Fix. I should have got the Series X."
Even then, that doesn't count. If I'm being totally honest, I wish it did, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I've been playing this week, to be honest with you. It's just been FIFA. So, yeah, man. Let's jump into this week's dashboard. First up, the legendary creepy Scorn gets an earlier Xbox and PC launch date. Scorn was originally planned to be coming out October 21st, but it has been announced today that it will be coming out October 14th. The publisher has released a new gameplay trailer announcing an amended release date. Scorn will release day one on Xbox Game Pass for Series X and S. Also PC, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
I actually don't know.
Maybe
about
not.
That.
Maybe not.
I'll look it up.
Wait, no, it must be. I'm pretty sure I saw it for pre that.
I think so, but I'm not. Yeah.
I see it right now. It's definitely PC.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen this new gameplay, but from the last gameplay I saw of this game, I lost all interest. But it is dropping in October. I am kind of doing like a whole. I think I'm gonna play spooky games all month just because I'll need a break from RP and stuff like that. So I'm like, it's a new game coming out on Xbox. Why not? Why not give it a try at least, you know? Might as well.
It's on Game Pass. Doesn't hurt to try it at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. I don't know if I necessarily. I've never really been into Scorn either visually or anything we've seen gameplay wise, and sort of at this point, I'm like, comes out in October. If I'm not playing anything, I'll try it then.
I'll let you know if you need to play it.
I was gonna say if I miss that launch window, it'll be up to you and Matt to convince me to play it.
No, 100%. Next up, EA unveils Monster Hunter-like Wild Hearts for PC and Xbox. Electronic Arts have announced a new IP in collaboration with Koei Tecmo called Wild Hearts. Wild Hearts is a cooperative action hunting game being developed by Omega Force, who are mostly known for their Dance These Warriors franchise. The game is set to in a fantasy take on a feudal era Japan, where players will protect the land from giant monsters by hunting them using deadly weapons and ancient technology. The release date for the game is February 17th, 2023. This one came out of nowhere. Like, it was just like, okay.
It feels like EA is going back to their good old publishing days. Because I feel like EA hasn't really done a lot of out-of-house stuff lately, and if they have, I feel like it hasn't been hitting. But I can't think of anything relatively recently.
Lately, haven't they, to be fair?
Yeah.
In terms of, I mean, Knockout Kings? Knockout City? I guess that was in-house, but you're not saying in-house, you're saying... No, yeah.
I'm saying like bigger, like I'm saying like AAA, yeah. So even if Knockout,
Koei Tecmo make AAA games, and they're publishing this new IP, not developed in house. No, I can't think of like EA used to do it, but I can't think of anyone.
Yeah. Lately. So I think this looks like a cool game as well if it hits. Monster Hunter has been getting way bigger, and so having another game in that genre, I think it's good for that type of game, especially if this is successful to sort of bolster competition for that type of game. But I think it also looks cool. It's an interesting setting. I like the fact that it seems to be the whole Japanese type of vibe. Yeah, I really like that. Hopefully it's good and hopefully it's successful. I don't know outside of Dynasty Warriors too much what that team's worked on.
No, me either. As long as if they've westernized it, like the game, I mean, like menus and things like that. That's the one thing I very much dislike about Monster Hunter. Like the game itself is actually really fun. I know I played, you didn't play with me actually. You didn't have it at the time. But I know I played, I played about 40 hours of Monster Hunter World. I think that's right. Which was my first Monster Hunter. And though I enjoyed the game, I just couldn't get over the way the menus
the game works
pretty much. Like, I couldn't get over that. So if they westernize this, which I assume they're going to with EA backing it, if I'm honest, I could be wrong, but I could be in. I could definitely be in.
Monster Hunter isn't only a lack of westernization; it's also just a really outdated
maybe
menu
it's not
system, and they've kept it.
Maybe it's just that's how I see it in my head.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying though, because it is a little bit convoluted, but they haven't really. I think to say it modernized it is incorrect because it's what Monster Hunter's always been and has continued to be. So I think saying something like modernized it is being disingenuous to what it is, but they haven't made it more standard to like more modern games. I guess modernized works. But yeah, so hopefully that is the case because what was the free to play game that came out? D something. Why am I completely blanking out on it? Dauntless.
Oh, Dauntless. Yeah.
Dauntless came out, and that had like a more modern system.
Yeah.
Dauntless was free to play, and so I think having more of a AAA type of game could be cool. It'll be interesting. I think monster design will be very important. The monsters they've showed off have been cool, but I think that's always the thing about Monster Hunter is that the monster design is always like top notch. On top of that, like how is the world, especially when Monster Hunter World came out. I remember when I played it, it felt like it was to a degree a lived-in world by the monsters that were in there. Yeah. Will this be sort of a similar situation here and all that stuff? All that stuff's important, but I think it's a good first showing for the game, and I'm interested to see more on it.
Yeah, I actually got to see the trailer really early because I'm part of like the EA creator thing. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, no, as long as if they can fix the things that I dislike about Monster Hunter, not that it's a bad game, it's a very, very, very good game, but if they can fix that and it be just as good a game as that, I'm actually in. Like, I'd really enjoy it. So, yeah. This showed me the fixes sat crash. Remember, you can email it myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag MXAM, or in the YouTube comments of this very video. First question comes from Little Smitty, aka Matt. Oh,
that question's from Luke. I don't know why the name isn't there, but that
no, that's me. I deleted. So okay, I deleted the wrong thing. That question's from top to bottom. Gotcha. Yeah. This one's from Elder Slayer, who says, "Want to gauge your excitement levels for Gotham Knights? Personally, I'm super mixed on how I feel about it. I think it has so much potential, especially with the co-op mechanics, but any gameplay I've seen looks like a step back from the Arkham games. Me personally, super excited."
Yeah, I think the mistake anybody looking at this game would make is to compare it to the Arkham games.
I agree.
Because I think they've gone very, very well out of their way to sort of say, like, this is not the Arkham games. You're not playing as Batman because this is not the Arkham games. This is not the Arkham games. This is not the Arkham games. I think that's very much so what they're pushing for. So if you're expecting to play the game and have sort of the in-depth, I think more personable combat that the Arkham games give you, I think this won't be the game for you. Yeah. I think if you're looking for like this open world co-op game that is more arcadey, I think this is 100% going to be up your alley. I also like the fact that they talked about if you're playing co-op, you are not tethered to the person you're playing with, so you can go all over the map and then sort of meet up whenever and stuff like that.
They've spoken about like story stuff as well, and how like you can sort of go off and do your own thing as well, right? If I'm not mistaken. So from the way they explained it the last time they showed the game, it was very much like it's meant to feel like you are two superheroes off on your own adventure, and you just happen to, we met in the same street. Oh, there's bad guys there. Let me help you beat up these bad guys real quick. All right, goodbye. I gotta go do something else. That's how it's meant to feel, right?
Yeah, they're also like, as far as co-op games, I think they're doing some of the most interesting stuff. For instance, like if I play with you and we do a story mission and then I'm behind you and then I go into my own game and I catch up to that mission, it gives me the prompt and the option to like completely skip that story mission. And I think that's very, very cool. And I'd love to see more co-op games adopt stuff like that, because that's always a takeaway, a very negative takeaway, in my opinion, from co-op games of
I think
sort of.
No, sorry.
Go
please.
ahead.
No. Please.
Of sort of just adding these levels of tediousness for no reason. And I think at a certain point, it was just sort of like the technology wasn't there, you know? But I think we're past that point, kind of, where it's like there should be more of a free flow in going from co-op to single player, and me not feel like I'm being punished for playing in co-op sometimes.
It's always my biggest deterrent for wanting to play games co-op with people. It's me feeling like I'm wasting their time, which is like, or me getting annoyed because you've already, which I learned with Matt P. Him playing Grounded took away all the excitement from Grounded for me, you know. It was like, even just I'm just gonna hang back here. I was like, as soon as you know, I just want you to do it. Just go and do it at that point. But with this, I'm like, so you're still getting something out of this. You're getting an experience. We're playing together. We're enjoying ourselves. But if you want to be like, I don't want to do story stuff, it's like, all right, well, you go. I'm gonna go do this story mission because I want to do this. And then we can come back and do. We pray there's collectibles in the world. There's going to be a bunch of other stuff that you're doing, right? Like, to me, that's super interesting. And I agree with you on the whole technology front of, like, we're finally there, I guess, where it's okay. But the thing is that this opens, and WB are actually pretty good at this, moving the... You know, we talk about, like, games that come out and don't necessarily move video games forward. Like, Nemesis System did. Like, we have to say that's from a WB game. Like, this is going to be one of those things where I'm like... Once we have this, I feel like we're going to go, every co-op game should have this now. There's no excuse anymore for you have to redo this story mission. Well, I've done it. Yeah, but, you have to. It's like, no. Like, we've seen it be done now, so we know it can be done. Once it comes out and hopefully works properly.
Yeah, because even when Redfall came out and they started coming out with co-op stuff, a lot of that did sound sort of like, some of that stuff sounded dated, of like, you can't freely change around the skills for your characters and stuff like that. And some of that I understand from a narrative gameplay perspective, where you want the world to feel cohesive, and so the decisions you make are decisions that are permanent. But sometimes you have to sort of lighten up on some of those decisions and give the player a little bit of leeway. And who knows, Redfall is not out yet, so that some of that stuff might change. I don't want to speak on Redfall too much, but they have talked about Gotham Knights, where it's like you can sort of respec your skill tree. Even with gear, it has a transmog system from day one, so it's like you can equip the best gear and then look however you want to look.
I'm really looking forward to playing this game with H. Like, to me, it's one of those games where, like you said, arcadey, the way you can spec your characters. I'm not comparing it to the best Batman game ever, Origins. Like, I'm not doing that. So, for me, it's a case of...
You're a piece of shit. You're such a piece of shit. The way you tried to hold back a smile, but it's sort of like creeped in there.
I couldn't help it. I'm not comparing it to that. And it's the fact that, like, I can play the game at my own pace. Haley can come home from work. She can play the game at her own pace, and I can still jump into her world and get things done. And it's like, cool, come over here and help me beat this boss, or help me beat this guy up, or whatever. No problem. Here I come. If that is how seamlessly it works, I'm in.
Fantastic. Especially because, like, if it works that way, it's also, there's no loading screens. There's no like, oh, you have to invite me and all this stuff. We're just playing in the same world. And it's like, oh, I'm going to need your help with this part or whatever. It adds a level of non-committal co-op. I don't know the right way to put it, but it's like you are playing in the same world with somebody. Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I think would make this better, which maybe the technology is not there yet, or maybe it just didn't work mechanically, is if it was 4-player. If you're telling me you could have done that with 4 different players, I think that would have been even cooler. Because I just think the amount of moments you would have bumped into people would have been more fun. What I want it to be a case of is, you're on. I see you on. You're on my friends list. I jump into your game, and we don't even have to talk. We're just being superheroes. And I'm not annoying you by being there.
Right.
Like,
which is
there definitely could be a way you're trying to stealth around or something, and I'm just like, ha! And then like God damn it!
You ruined my whole plan.
God damn it, Robin! You've come, but that to me, even that on itself is funny and enjoyable. It's like you're literally creeping around. I see you, and I'm just standing there like, I'm gonna wait to ruin this, because let's be honest, if me and you were superheroes, we would totally do that. Like, you're doing something a certain type of way, and I'd just be like, huzzah! Like, I come out of nowhere, it's like, God damn it, Fixer! Like, why? Like, to me, that can be a really fun, enjoyable experience that I can hop in, I can hop out, I can help out, I can hinder, and hindering like not let you play it the way you want to. As long as it's not the whole time, I think
but every once in a while.
Cool. To me, it's like any game where it's like push to talk for me. Is like, now that I've played GTA roleplay, push to talk is the best way to play video games for me. Where it's, whether I'm playing Call of Duty, whatever game I am playing, I want push to talk on if I'm playing with friends. Because to me, that's just the more fun way to have that experience now. Whereas I get to keep having my experience the way I want to, but then I can communicate to you when I need to.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, like that to me in Gotham Knight, imagine, is like, we can do it in Discord. So it's like me and you jump in a Discord call, but you're just playing. You're still listening to your podcast. You're still whatever. And it's just me going, yo, Crash, I'm just doing this. Do you want to come over? No, I'm good. Cool. And then I just to me, that's maybe it's because I'm older and I just that's the experience I want. That to me seems cool, and I'm looking forward to that. So yeah.
I feel like as far as co-op games, I think that's not been something that's tried.
No,
really. So it'll be very interesting to see, even if the game as a whole doesn't succeed, if the co-op aspects are something that become very notable.
If I do not have to communicate to you, hey, Crash, can you come over here because I need to do insert thing here?
Yeah.
This game's a success for me. Just the fact of, can you come and stand in this circle because I need to move the story along? No.
Yeah.
It's
That's
huge.
great.
That will
Absolutely.
be huge. That will be huge. So, next question comes from Little Smitty, aka Matt. What up? Not a UB/Disney question. 2 of my 3 game stores have closed in the last 6 months. Do you see a world where we no longer have brick and mortar gaming shops in the near future? I feel like they've outlived their use. If so, does that kill the second-hand market, or do companies like CEX and Money Spinner, don't know what that is, keep doing trade-ins? So the question, do I see game? I feel like it's like everything right now in the world, right? We're in a weird place right now. Like, I don't know what it's like in the US, but in the UK, electricity prices have trebled. So you've gone from a bill of £1,000 to now £3,000 and stuff like that. That is getting stupid. So ultimately, your small mum and pop grop shop is gone. Like my dad's shop, right? My dad's shop, he only opens his shop now when he does kids' birthday parties in there and stuff. And he owns a game shop, but he does like kids' birthday parties. He's got screens on the walls and stuff like that. He only opens the shop when he has a birthday party. Because it's no longer viable for him to just have the shop open. And I feel like you're going to get more stuff like that. CX is a huge chain, and CX pretty much crashes like a video games version of a pawn shop. Pawn, Pawn, not.
Yeah, I got what you said.
It wasn't for you. It was for the audience. That's what it pretty much is. They take in games, they take in consoles, they take in phones and stuff like that. I don't think CX is going anywhere. I've got to be honest with you. Right now, I feel like they are the only game store that is safe. A game, and so to you guys would be like a GameStop and stuff like that. I think those are the companies that are on the ropes 100%. I think where you used to see one in my area, there was one in every shopping centre around, and maybe even 2 in one shopping centre, which was crazy. I think you'll see 1 in every other shopping centre now. It's a case of like Amazon has killed that market in a huge way, as I'm sure we all know. And yes, even if you walk into a game shop nowadays, at least for me, I don't know what it's like for you guys, bro, they're not trying to sell me games. They're trying to sell me t-shirts and keyboards and mouses and pop phone calls. And like, I went to this shop in my local shopping centre now that it's like, it pretty much is a Comic-Con. All the stuff that you get at Comic-Con is what you can get in this shop. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Do you have a Hot Topic over there?
No, but we've got places like it. I know exactly what you're referencing.
So like what GameStops and stuff like that are essentially becoming slowly is more of a hot topic, which itself I'm pretty sure it was like something else at some point and slowly transitioned into what it is, becoming more of a place for like nerd culture, which is more so what's happening to those stores as well. I don't think it stops secondhand games. No. Stuff like Facebook Marketplace is actually like huge for stuff like that. I think
the regional market on eBay and stuff like that alone keeps the secondhand market alive right now. Like, to be able to, everybody, at least my TikTok, I don't know what your algorithm's like, you uninstalled it. Crash, I was in bed today for an hour and a half watching TikTok, and I looked at Haley and said, we got to uninstall this again. So we can't do this anymore. This is stupid. It's stupid.
I've been watching YouTube shorts the way I used to watch TikTok. And I'm like, I just got to stop opening the YouTube app now because it's horrible. Yeah.
At least it's YouTube, though. At least they're paying their creators now.
That's true.
That's the way you got to look at it, man. You're helping someone. Someone. No, the flipping market right now is everyone wants to flip everything, and everyone's trying to get the most bang for their buck, which they should, by the way. So yeah, I think the second-hand market stays for a. I think you still got another generation beyond this generation of disc games and stuff like that. After that, maybe 10 years from now, I don't know.
I don't think disc games will ever go anywhere, and the reason I don't think that is because I do think companies will at some point maybe release premium versions of consoles that come with discs, and you can buy the discs, and the discs will become the equivalent of something like a vinyl. I think there might be a generation where they're missing.
Technically, that's what Series X is, right?
Absolutely. No, you're not wrong. But we don't view it as that right now, right? I think there'll be a point where like that switches. Because I think there is a value to collector items, and once they're not as normal, you can justify selling a disced game for more than the digital version of like, a disc game is going to be $80 or whatever, because we have to actually make the game. $100
and it comes in. I think you'll still get your special edition case and stuff like that. A little bit like everything will become like a limited run games.
Exactly.
Like it's just I want to just go back on what you just said on the whole premium. You said, but when it becomes like the main, right now it is. The Series S has probably outsold the Series X. It's just on such a bigger, I don't understand what you're saying. Like it's on a bigger spectrum. Like it's not on a millions. Right? We're talking like, I think in 10 years, the next generation consoles, I think you're right. The Series S will be the more powerful version, let's say, which is digital only, and the disc version will be the lesser than version.
I don't think it'll be lesser than.
Okay.
I think it'll be lesser than in the terms that it's going to be more expensive. But I don't think it'll be the weaker version. Right, but right now I think the Series S moves up to the Series X spot, and then the disc version moves up a slot, and then you still have a Series S variant. And I don't think that'll happen next generation. I do think there'll be a generation where there's a gap, and then people are like, hey, we want disc games, and collectors will be, it might even be more than a generation, but I do think discs will come back at some point, if not going anywhere.
I'll be honest,
because I do think
I love that, though. I love the idea of, again, I'm a digital guy. I get sent games, so everything we get sent 9 times out of 10 is digital, right? I love the idea of, and again, I'm saying that from, let me say this again, let me rephrase this, let me make sure that everyone understands this. I understand my privilege, I understand my position in the industry, I understand all of that, but I do love the idea of like, a Gears of War comes out, Gears of War 25, and it is a special edition case, and it's the only physical one. And I'm still got a digital version, but I buy the physical one because I want to have this collection.
Have that collector's piece.
It's like you said, exactly like vinyl. Exactly like vinyl now. Vinyl's not dead, but it's not it's not mainstream widespread anymore. And you're right, it's the cost. That's why I don't buy vinyl. I'd love it. I've got 9 to 5 on vinyl, thanks to Haley for a birthday present, right? But I'd love to have my EP on a vinyl. But I know how much that costs to just make the one.
Yeah,
like
it's expensive.
It's super expensive. But I would buy that from a collector's point of view. So yeah, I got you. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like it. Good idea, Crush. Good idea. It's a good idea in 20 to 30 years time. Maybe not 30, because I'll be old then. I'm old now, but you know.
Yeah. So I think in like 15 to 20 years, we start like really seeing that transition. And I don't think they fully transitioned into a collector's item till a little bit after that.
I got you.
I don't know, because I wasn't alive during vinyl, so I don't know what the transition period for vinyls looked like, really.
You wasn't alive during vinyl. When vinyl was popping,
when vinyls was popping, yeah, because when I was a kid, vinyls were still around, obviously.
I was early 90s. They weren't popping like that for me either.
Yeah.
I remember cassettes more than so cassettes was a thing for but dude, like I don't want to be the old guys right now, but bro, we went from cassettes came and went. Mini disc came and went. MP3 player came and went. And now we're where we are, where it's like, Spotify, Apple Music. Like, you want any song in the world? Yeah, no problem.
You got it.
Program.
I saw, this isn't the topic for this, but I saw a really interesting topic on how albums don't really live a long shelf life anymore because of Spotify. It's like you have access to all the music.
I literally, wrong podcast for this, but we're going to do it anyway because it's my Xbox and me. This is the and me portion. Someone said to me, are you ever going to put out another EP? I said, hell no, are you crazy? I said, if I would have put out every single one of those songs that I just put out on that EP I put out, they would have all performed better on their own as a single song compared to me putting out this crafted project that I thought, I'll put out this piece of work and people don't give two craps. Even on Spotify, the way they placement it is bad because the songs didn't do well, people don't see them in my top 10 list.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I'm like, wait a minute, what?
It's one of those things where like you either have to be a really big artist to like successfully put out an album, or you have to make an album for the love of making an album.
Yes.
And that's the reason you do it. And I think those are two different. That's not what Fix about. It's like I just want to make music, bro. That's all. I'm like out here. I'm being successful making music. That's good for me.
It makes more sense for me to put out 10 singles, one a week, than it does for me to put out a project of like just because of the popularity for that week, and then it will nosedive. It would nosedive straight afterwards. But
you only have to convince somebody to listen to one song, not like play an album and play my whole album.
Half an hour of music? No,
thank you. I got 5 minutes.
Mad.
Yeah.
This answer this next question from BT Maverick, who says, Hey, my Xbox and me crew. Hey, my Xbox and free crew. I see what you did there. Feel bad for Haley, but it's fine. I hope you guys are staying cool because it's scorching here in North Cali. This was a while ago. I do apologize. At 114 degrees today, 44.55 Celsius. I was curious about MC Fixer's ideas about doing my PlayStation Me podcast and where that idea is at the moment. Would you guys consider and thoughts about doing an all-encompassing podcast that would include all console/PC? Just thoughts. News is kind of slow on the Xbox side at the moment. I'm sure you guys read this Activision deal hopefully finally gone through. So my PlayStation and me YouTube channel is there. We have the channel, we have a podcast feed, we have everything. The problem was finding people that were passionate about PlayStation the way I am passionate about Xbox. I love the Xbox ecosystem. I love turning on my Xbox. I love using my Xbox. That if you ask me to pick a game up, that is where I'm going to pick up a game 9 times out of 10. With PlayStation, I do not have that same feel. I love PlayStation. I think PlayStation make fantastic games. I just don't have somebody next to me right now that Crash back in the day especially was more a PlayStation guy than he was Xbox guy. But I don't have a guy right now that I'm like, this is the guy, this is who I want on, and to build these things, it takes a really long time to build podcasts. Even the small, intimate, amazing audience we have right now, we've been doing this podcast now for 375 weeks. That's a long time of my life, never missing a week ever. I don't know. I don't have that. I already proved that with my PlayStation in me. I don't have that in me again. To do a podcast like that. If somebody said to me, yo, Fixer, we are passionate about PlayStation and we want you to be a part of it, and we want to run a PlayStation channel that covers news, does Let's Plays, to build that. We haven't even built that properly with my Xbox and me yet. And this is the thing I love doing. So to think about doing that with another thing is very challenging. The all-encompassing podcast, I've wanted to do that forever. I think it's I just want to do I've always wanted to just do the MC Fixer podcast, or whatever it is you call it, right? Of like, it's just me, Matt, and Crash get on, and we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about at that point. It could be films, it could be TV, it could be this, it could be that. But that's kind of what My Xbox and Me has been morphing into for a little while anyway. Though we're an Xbox podcast, though we cover Xbox news, though Xbox is the platform of choice for your play on, you come here each week to hear about us. You hear for me to take the piss out of Crash, for me to go on my tangent about music. It's like, that's going to come with time. So if anything, I feel like we should just do the And Me podcast. Like,
yeah.
And it's something we've spoken about. We've been having meetings and stuff like that. There is a plan to produce more content on the My Xbox and Me channel. Maybe it means it's a rebrand for My Xbox and Me. I don't know. But there's something to be worked there. There's something to be had there, and there's a lot to be done.
Yeah, I feel like before we start looking at another podcast, or just shifting stuff too much, it's more so nailing the stuff we're doing currently. And we have had meetings. We do have
plans.
I don't want to give anything like super, super solid. Yeah. Because still a little bit loose on everything, but we have been talking about moving and stuff, and like the podcast that doesn't really have a singular purpose to say like Xbox or something like that is something that we have talked about. And it's not the first time that we've talked about it recently, but that's always such a hard thing to fit in.
Look, to gain an audience, you need to specify in one thing. And that's why My Xbox and Me has been successful on different levels, right? That's why we have the community we have. If we were the insert generic game, I don't know what even to say, like XOBA podcast, or I don't know, what does the Switch have? Yeah, they have weird things. And Switch, the podcast wouldn't have done as well because it wouldn't have found an audience. Moving an audience to a different place is also very hard as well. We're getting into all businessy things right now as well. So yeah, there is ideas, there is plans, it is stuff we want to do. We want to do more of this. I think all of us want to do more of this. We want to do more streams. We want to do more reaction content. Something drops. We want to have more conversations about it then and there. But it's just hard. Like, Crash wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do this. Matt P works a full-time job. I work a full-time job in terms of streaming / content creation. And My Xbox and Me is like my passion project outside of that, which to people might seem weird, but that is. It's like, My Xbox and Me doesn't really generate any money for any of us to do anything. So it becomes that much harder to then want to do more when we haven't even figured out, like Chris said, we haven't figured out the right winning formula for My Xbox and Me just yet. So yeah. Next question comes from Origin Cookie Man, and we'll end on this one, and we'll ask the next ones. We'll answer the next ones for next week, which is, when will the My Xbox Me team stream this game? It was the Trombone Champ game. Crash? I have no interest at all.
Nothing.
No.
This game looks
terrible.
I don't want to say it's a bad game.
No,
this game looks absolutely not interesting at all to me.
Yeah, me too. It looks like a Switch game, and they've got like
it looks like a Wii game.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like it looks like a Nintendo game, and like the Switch controller would be the trombone, and that's what you're doing this for, or something like that. That totally just looked like I was doing something else. I don't want to talk about it. I had my hand by my mouth. I'm sorry.
First the pawn shop, and then that fixture.
Man's moving stuff out here, boy. But yeah, no, not for me. I guarantee Matt's played it. Guarantee it.
You think so?
Guarantee
it. Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe.
We'll see.
You want a pizza bet?
No, bro. I've already got. How many pizza bets do I owe already? Like, I know. Do I owe you a pizza? I'm pretty sure I do.
Do you? I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll have to look on the doc.
Because I've only made one bet. And I think the bet was with Matt, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
It was about Batman, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Batman.
I don't know if we ever ended up making that
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's plug, and get ourselves out of here, Crash. What do you have to plug this week, my dude?
My Xbox Me YouTube page. We're gonna be doing hopefully more streams doing there and a whole mess of other content that we're gonna be trying over the next couple of months, not the next couple of weeks, not the next couple of days, but the next couple of months. So, just get in earlier, hit the subscribe button, maybe hit the bell,
Come on. Come on. Please. No, yeah. You're 100% right. We're trying new things to then get prepared for the new year. 100%.
Yeah.
I think for me, come and follow me on Twitch if you're a Twitch viewer. If not, I'd love to hear feedback from people, man. Like, I know we say it all the time, but just like, what can we do to change up the podcast? What can we do to change up the content you guys want to see, hear, watch, read, listen? We've got a website we do nothing with. Like, there's so much out there already. What do you want specifically from us is the thing. Like, I don't want to do reaction content and then you're like, I watch other people for reaction content. What do you specifically want from us? When you come here once a week to listen to this podcast, which again, we need to do more, I understand that. What is it you want? I'd love to know, especially in the YouTube comments. Let me know, please. Let me know.
Doesn't necessarily have to exist in the podcast space as well.
No.
If there's a certain type of video that you'd love to see us like, hey, sit down, have like a 5-minute conversation about a topic or whatever. And if there's enough people that would want something like that, we can try and figure something out. As far as us like getting together or whatever and doing something with that.
Agree.
And also don't wait for us to ask if you have any critiques or anything that you'd love to see change. Just ask. None of us will get like, oh my God, they're talking shit about the content or whatever. Like,
the Discord's the best place to have those conversations, I think, because I think anybody who's willing to jump through a hoop to jump into a Discord to then go into the My Xbox and Me talking page that we have there, we know that you're at that point, you're a hardcore fan, someone who actually enjoys the content. You're not critiquing us personally. You just want it to be better. And I understand.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Again, I've loved many things on the internet. Kind of funny being probably the biggest thing that I've always loved. I still to this day love. But I used to critique it very hard because I always wanted it to be better. I always wanted it to keep moving forward. And when I spoke to Greg, he always understood that. When I spoke to him, it was always, I get it. You critique the things you love because you want it to do even more. And I think it's the same thing for us right now. So, yeah, man. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, we'll love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbyes.
Bye.